My name is Becca. I am a purple belt at Aries Brazilian Jiu Jitsu in Roseville. I started Jiu Jitsu at the age of 32. I was a stay-at-home mom. I had 3 children at the time. My youngest was 2 years old. I began my journey when I was actually at a really low point in my health. When I was in the process of recovering from a difficult delivery, it had taken me 2 years to get my iron balanced out in my blood, and I had just battled anemia for not being able to do very much physical activity and not being cleared by a doctor to be able to train in any type of sport, or even doing things at the gym. So it was a difficult season in my life where I loved being active. I had a little bit of background in boxing, and I'd worked at gyms helping other people with their physical fitness, and it was very difficult for me to sit back in those 2 years having gained weight from a pregnancy, being a stay-at-home mom, not having a job. At the time, we relocated from the Bay Area to the Sacramento area, and I didn't know anyone. I didn't have any friends. I remember putting my kids in jiu-jitsu and thinking, well, this is something I wanted to do since I was 14 years old, and I wasn't able to do it. And, at least I can get my kids in this. At least I can get them started and make sure that they know how to protect themselves. That just came from such a long history of hurt, a long history of early childhood abuse. I was sexually abused by my father. I was mentally and emotionally, verbally abused by both of my parents. It was a difficult life. I was a baby of 6 children. I had abusers all throughout my life. So I was abused by a woman when I was 8 years old. As I grew up, I didn't have any sense of boundary. I didn't know who I was. I had no identity in anything, really. I believed the words that were spoken over me, and I thought that I was stupid. I thought that these things were my fault. I believed and bought into all of these lies. This is really where my journey of self-preservation and wanting to defend myself began. I just didn't know it yet. I battled anxiety and depression and all of these things without knowing it. My norm, my baseline was feeling anxious all the time. I remember having that anxiety, heavy feeling in my chest all the time growing up, and not knowing, not ever feeling safe, not ever feeling secure in anything. And all of those wounds, all of that hurt and pain, I just carried it with me all the way into teen years. When I was 17 years old, I was raped by a close friend, and going into even marriage, I was in domestic violence marriage, and I had to escape that with my 2 small children. There was this cycle of violence, this cycle of hurt and pain that just continued in my life. By the time I had my 2 oldest children in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I was at the point where I was oh, this is not for me, this is for them. And they inspired me. For 4 years, I watched them train and compete. And at the end of that time, my daughter decided she wanted to do wrestling. And so I put her in wrestling, and I immediately took her place. And I said, I'm gonna try this thing. And it was a really difficult decision to make, to step on the mat for the first time. But I made that decision, and I'm here 7 years later. I'm so thankful that I made the decision and that I didn't stop. One of the things that kept me going was that every time at the end of class, I would be dog tired, I'm sweating, it looked like I had just showered or something. I had so much sweat, and it wasn't it was other people's sweat too, not just my sweat. So gross. I had to endure, sniffing and swallowing weird hair off the mat and all this weird stuff. And then on top of that, I was just getting crushed night after night. I would come in and I would just get crushed and have to tap and all the stuff, right? Where it really just crushes and breaks down your ego. And I did it, but every night I remember feeling like I accomplished something, and I had never felt like that before in my life. And all the guys, we would line up and we would shake hands, and all of the guys, one after the other, would say, congratulations, good job, it's great seeing you. And this one really got me. Just keep coming. Just don't stop. Don't quit. Don't give up. Just keep coming. And that was what kept me on the mat. I am an overcomer.